What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to NoLifeTilMetal. Going to be doing a NoLifeTilMetal graphics update today. Nothing from the NoLifeTilMetal rate label today. Most of these are all from the same label, and I'll put a link to look below if you're interested in buying any of these records that I'm showing. But I did the graphic layouts for all these. I don't think any of the cover art are mine either, but all these are like, most of these are reissues, if not all of them. It might all be reissues in this patch. But I got a lot to show, so I'm going to get into these quickly. I enjoy doing these because some of these are like bands that I absolutely love. So getting to work on them was a joy. But they came out superb. First one up, brand new Sin. I describe these guys as heavy southern rock. Not too far off from maybe what Zakk Wylde is doing with Black Label Society, but a little more of a southern tinge with more slide guitar and, you know, harmonica here and there, that kind of thing. Really good stuff. It's heavy. It's not like yeah, you know, it's not like Lynyrd Skynyrd or Outlaws kind of stuff. It's much heavier than that. So, like I said, Black Label Society is kind of where I think it's got kind of a sludgy sound at times. But this is their first album. This one's had two different covers. This happens to be the second cover, which came out on Century Media Records. As you can see, the Century Media logo right there. But the first cover had like a guitar on it, like the neck of a guitar. This one is actually branding on what looks like, you know, somebody's arm, so you can kind of see the top of a denim shirt up here, but it's actually not somebody's arm. It's actually a different part of the body, and it's actually not a sleeve that you see up there in the denim. So I'll just leave it to your imagination what it actually is, but it came out really nice, especially because the label didn't have the original artwork for this, so I had to recreate it. But like I said, it came out really nice. Back cover, nice picture of the band on the back there. Guitarist, excuse me, the singer, I always want to say Rob. It's not Rob, it's Joe Altier. And he actually has a very popular channel on Facebook and YouTube. He actually did a live opening of these, and he talked a little about the history of them, and it was really, really good video. He also talked a little bit about, you know, money, because a lot of these reissues come out and people, you know, fans instantly complain, was the band getting paid or is just the label getting paid? And he was very open about it, you know, basically saying, hey, you know, the label gave us this much money for all these records, and they probably haven't made their money back yet, so no, we're not getting paid, which is nice to hear, you know, because usually you just hear bands complain that, yeah, well, we signed a bad contract and we're not getting anything. No, you got paid up front, and that's kind of what he was at. So it was a really cool video. I really enjoyed it. But anyhow, check it out if you can. I'll try to remember to put a link below to his video if I can find it. And it was on Facebook. I don't remember watching it on YouTube. But really came out great. Happy with it. The insert is got another photo of the band from the same photo shoot. And lyrics, and you can see the brand in the back of the lyrics as well. And then the vinyl itself. It's in a black sleeve. It's kind of like this orange creamsicle, super thick. It's got to be at 180, maybe 140 at least, 180, 160 gram vinyl. But yeah, you can see the custom center labels. And this is on Brutal Planet Records, which you can get from boonsoverstock.com. So yeah, I got to do everything on this one, including picking out the vinyl color. So I really like that orange color, and I kind of, you know, it kind of matches the rest of the. So you got, you know, the orange tinges throughout the whole thing, and the skin color is a little bit orange because it was very tan, obviously, and sweaty. All right, I'll put this away later. Put this over here for now. Next up, brand new Sin, second album, Recipe for Disaster. Really like the way this one came out. The back cover was totally created. I really like the wanted sign, how it looks. Came out superb. Actually, we use this for the advertising. We liked it so much. I totally created the back cover. There was no, I didn't have a back cover for this one. Again, I had to create the artwork, and front cover came out superb. Looks just like the original. This one is on a different stock than that one. That one's kind of a more glossy stock. This one's kind of a very flat matte surface, and I really wanted it for this one because I just thought it matched, and it feels cool. It looks cool. That's why you're not getting like the glare like you did on the other one. Different stock. And this too has your insert with these funny pictures of the band members on there. You got a guy with a shotgun to his neck. You got a guy sinking in the quicksand. A guy sitting on the middle of the railroad. Is that Joe? Yeah, Joe Altier sitting in the middle of the railroad tracks with his truck, which is actually illegal. So, just, I don't know, fun pictures. But yeah, again, you got lyrics and that same branding, except now the branding, instead of being on skin, is on wood. And then the record itself is a burgundy, if I can get it out of the sleeve. So it's got a burgundy colored record. And if you look really closely, there's the A side. They almost look identical, but on the B side, you can see a bit of smoke coming up from the branding. And all of these have custom hype stickers on them. They're these 2x6 hype stickers that show you the color of the vinyl, and there's only one color available for these, and there's only 300 copies. So if you're into Brand New Sin or into that style of music and you want these, get them quick, because let me tell you, when Joe started talking about them on his thing, they started disappearing quick. But yeah, it came out nice. And then here's the custom hype sticker. There it is. They all I think almost all these in this pile have a custom hype sticker on them. Put this away real quick. They came shrink wrapped. I put them in the resealable sleeves, and thankfully the stickers kind of peeled nicely off. And actually, not all these in this pile are open. Some of them I'm going to do a live opening with you because I haven't even got to open them yet. But third album from Brand New Sin, Tequila. This one had the hit cover of House of the Rising Sun. Also features some guest vocals by Peter Green, Typo Negative. Front cover, back cover. Tequila. You can see the custom hype sticker, and if you look in the background, you can kind of see it's full of gold tequila. And the vinyl itself is on a gold tequila colored vinyl. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up on the video, but we'll find out in a second if I can get it out of here. There you go. So it kind of has that, it's kind of a clear, but it's also kind of a yellow. It's supposed to be gold tequila. And it came out really nice. Again, custom center labels. Custom hype sticker. This one did come in a black polyline sleeve, and then the insert, the lyrics. There's a kind of a bar scene in the background. You have to look really closely to tell what it is, but there's a Jägermeister poster back here, and it's a poster of the band on the Jägermeister poster that was hanging in a bar apparently. And then there's the other side with the band photo, and it kind of made it look old and beat up, and stuck some tape on it to make it look like it was taped onto the thing. Gave it a cool vibe. I'm really happy with how these came out. I've heard no complaints from anybody about anything, including the band. Everybody seems to be happy with them, so I'm glad that they came out so nice, because this band deserves it. These guys are great. And hopefully... I know they're supposed to be doing some reunion shows, so I mean, I don't know if they're coming anywhere near here, but if they did, I'd love to see them live, because I never did get a chance to see them live back in the day. Okay, next up, moving on, new band, German power metal, Symphorce. These guys are awesome. I mean, I love Symphorce. I have since, gosh, the 90s. I have all their albums on CD. Some of them I have multiple versions on CD. Their stuff was never available on vinyl before, so this is the first time this one's ever been available on vinyl. But this is Forceful Ahead from 2003. And again, you got your custom insert with photos of the band and lyrics. And this is kind of a blending of artwork. The cover is the cover. And thankfully they had a CD-sized version of the cover digital, so I was able to make it look really good, blow it up, and it looks fantastic. I mean, it's just perfectly crisp and clean. I did put new type on there, so the type is really crisp and clean. Same thing with the back. I used bits and pieces of artwork that they had available and photos that they had available, and the type is all fresh and new and clean, so it looks very sharp. And then this was kind of a combination of things. So I took some of the bits and pieces of stuff like the photographs and the outer border that they had available, and then I created the kind of creamy looking background that you see here. It's I don't know what you call that look. Faded paper, old paper. It looks like it's been like water damaged and all that kind of stuff. But anyhow, I created that and then kind of melded the whole thing together to create this layout. And again, I'm really happy with it. It looks great, very professional. My only complaint with it is, and it's nothing to do with the layout or the music or anything else, was the manufacturing plant shoved that insert in there so roughly that it came out wrinkled, like someone had used it to throw across the room. I don't usually see that in a new record. It's the first time I ever opened up a new record that had shrink wrap on it, and the insert was all wrinkled. Anyhow, this is it did have a custom sticker too. Custom sticker says limited yellow vinyl produced by Akam Kohler of Primal Fever Center Brainstorm, a shining testament to the golden era of symphonic power metal. For fans of Brainstorm, Camelot, Gravedigger, and Freedom Call. And then here's the second one. This one came out like a year afterwards, 2004. Love this cover art. I wish this could have been a gatefold, because it actually wraps around the image does, and I love that seahorse image, and there's a little girl seahorse in the back. But there she is. And this one has a custom sticker too. Limited edition sage green vinyl, brilliant progressive German power metal with hooks big enough to catch a whale. First time on vinyl for fans of Brainstorm, Camelot, Gravedigger, and Freedom Call. And again, all the typists are on there fresh. A lot of times when there are art assets from the labels, the type is flattened on there like a Photoshop document or a PDF. So I go in and I delete it. I take it all out and I put it on all fresh, because it just looks messy when you're just blowing up something that's been scanned. It just looks fuzzy, and you can just tell. This to me, you couldn't tell if this was a brand new release that came out the same day as the CD did. It just looks that good. And that's not a pat on myself on the back. It's just you just need to do things right to get it to look like that. That's all. Custom center labels again. There's the front label. I don't know what that image is with the eyeball on it, but I thought it was cool, and it was in the CD, so I wanted to make sure it got used somewhere on the album. So I used it on the center label, and then the back's got a different center label with that curved dead fish on there, who is also in the CD booklet. I wanted to make sure it got used on the vinyl as well somewhere. So wish I could say I created those, but those were part of the original CD release. So there's the insert. Again, all that type is fresh and clean. We have a proofreader who goes through and proofreads all the lyrics. We do our best to make sure the lyrics are correct. We get all this stuff approved by the labels, so Century Media approves these things, or in this case it's Metal Blade, I think. Metal Blade approves them. And usually if the bands are involved, we try and get the bands to look at them as well. On the Symphorce, the band was not involved that I'm aware of, unless they were involved through Metal Blade. Just weren't directly involved with us, but it's not really our choice sometimes whether we can work with the bands. It's up to the the label and the contract, depending on what the contract states and what the label states. So all right, there you go. Symphorce Twice Second. All these are available. All the ones I've shown so far are available at boonsoverstock.com. I'll try to put a link below, maybe put it right here. boonsoverstock.com. All right, this next one I posted on my Facebook, and I had to delete several posts because I was getting a lot of hate posts, unfortunately. But this is Witchery, and the name of the album is In His Infernal Majesty's Service. I love the graphics on this thing. Love the black and white look. Love the light gray writing in the back. I have no idea what that writing is. I mean, no idea what it says or what it is, but it looks cool. Same thing with the back, which is actually kind of a mirrored reverse of the front cover. And this too is on a very satin feel, uncoated cover stock. So it just came out really nice. I'm really happy with how this one came out. My post is still on Facebook. I've just been deleting all the hate posts because it's not the point. I don't want to hear. I get it. You don't like lyrics like this. Okay, then skip it. You know what I mean? You don't have to post. Insert with lyrics. Band photo. More graphics. And the vinyl for this one is kind of I think you call it an A-side, B-side style. It's in a black poly sleeve. But here's the record. And of course, they're all black and white like this, but none of them look exactly the same. Every one is a little different. which is the case with any of these sort of specialty vinyls like that. But yeah, this thing came out superb. It also has 2 extra tracks on it, because this one has been released on vinyl before. Unlike the Symphorce and the Brainstorm, which had never been on vinyl before, this one had been on vinyl before. But this time they added 2 extra tracks. So it sounds fantastic too. Remastered by Rob Caldwell, Bombworks Sound, and he always does great work. Like I said, I rarely ever hear. I've only ever heard one band complain, and the one band that complained, I'm not going to say their name, but the bass player, no, the guitar player in that band is also a person who does mastering, so of course he complained because he didn't do it. But the problem is that guy was asked to do it, and he said he didn't have time, so, you know, win some, lose some. All right, this next one is not even opened yet. Haven't even opened this one yet. It just came in the mail. This is As Hell Retreats Volition. Again, very straight, simple graphics. I love stuff like this. This, to me, this is just awesome graphics. I mean, it stands out. It doesn't look like your, you know, typical, especially now with AI taking over all the graphics and just doing these, everybody has the same looking cover. But this is unique, and it works really well for this band. Again, custom hype sticker. Well, this one has a hype sticker on it too. I should have mentioned that. The hype sticker says, "Bewitching black and white vinyl, an absolute beast of a record. Angry Metal Guy contains 2 bonus tracks." This hype sticker says, "First time on vinyl, a tightly woven record steeped with rage and spiritual warfare. Sputnik.com." And the style of music is hardcore. The Witchery's kind of blackened thrash. Symphony, what are you going Symphony. Symphorce, I said symphony, and I had symphony S stuck in my head. Symphorce is German power metal, much similar to Brainstorm. A little less proggy than Brainstorm, a little more melodic in my opinion. I love Symphorce, like I said. And then, of course, I already told you about Brand New Sin. All right, so here it is. I'm going to pull the plastic off carefully because I want to preserve the sticker. I'll put it over here and I'll peel that sticker off later. Again, we chose a really nice flat. That's why you're not getting huge glares on this like you would on the other ones. It kind of has a satiny feel. That back cover is superb. Again, love the graphic. It's got the insert with more cool graphics and some liner notes, and then, of course, you got the lyrics, and you can see this is on a shiny paper. That's why you're getting all that glare. So, and again, I have that symbol in the background, kind of ghosted behind everything. Again, super happy with how this one came out. For whatever reason, it might have been my oversight. This one came in a white polyline sleeve. Usually we always do black polyline sleeves, but this is a white polyline sleeve, and it's on this yellow translucent vinyl. Really, really bright yellow, but I mean, it's, you know, plays off the color of the album. The whole album has got yellow and black and white, so there you go. That's, I think the rest of these I need to open. I don't think any of the rest of these have been opened yet. So this next one is way outside the musical scale for me. I mean, you know, usually I'm doing the hard rock heavy metal thing, which is what I love, but I absolutely, this one was great to work on. I was like stoked to work on it because this guy is one of the biggest artists of the 50s and 60s. You may know him. He was in some movies. His music was also in some movies. But this is Slim Whitman, who was known not only for his country music and his country western music, but he was also like a yodeler, and he was just a huge influence on many, many people. Sold millions and millions of records. This one has obviously a custom sticker on it too. It's got a lot of info on this sticker. 2 LP gatefold. The first modern vinyl release of Slim Whitman. So none of his albums have been reissued in recent years, and this is basically a compilation album, a new compilation album. And it's got some quotes on here. Slim Whitman is the best singer I've ever heard. Elvis Presley. Slim's range was out of sight. Nobody could hit those notes like Slim. Willie Nelson. His influence continued to resonate decades later with Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison calling him a huge influence. Rolling Stone magazine. 20 soulful renditions. So there you go. Again, that's the hype sticker. Now, this cover I did get to create, so I lied when I said there was none in here. I had just forgotten that this one was in there. So this was actually a project that I worked on with another artist. So I worked with a guy, and I've talked about him before in other videos because he worked with me and did some White Heart stuff and some Keith Green and some Petra stuff. Okay, so here's the record. Like I said, it's a gatefold. So if you look right there, you can see this drawing, which I kind of colorized and made look old. But that is actually a drawing done in pen and ink, just black and white, by Rudy Grunke. Now, Rudy Grunke, he did, like, here's one I had, just so happened to have one sitting here. This is just a card, but this is a Keith Green image he did. It's just done with pen and ink and dots, and it's superb. I actually own an original of his that I bought from him, of Keith Green as well. But he actually came up and did this black and white image, and then I colorized it for in here. Now, this is literally just colorized. That is his drawing, just on a kind of a, old-looking photograph paper. Whereas this front image is the same image as that other one, but you can see I've done quite a bit of work to it to colorize it. So I colorized the image, put in some tones, some color, and put in the background. And if you look closely, very closely, you can see the whole thing is just made up of dots. Even that background, all hand drawn by Rudy Grunke, and then colorized and made into this cover by me. And of course, I created this little logo, Slim Whitman, 20 Precious Memories, with the stars on it. He's known for that, acoustic guitar with the big star on the head up there, and a couple stars over here, and he got his little SW for Scott Waters, because he knew what I was going to do in the future, his stuff. So anyhow, this one too is on a colored vinyl. It too is in white poly sleeves, but it's on this deep burgundy color, and you can see the Slim Whitman logo on one side, and this is on Retroactive Records. So, as with most Retroactive Records things, it's got the flame on the B side. So yeah, this one came out really awesome, and it was just nice because it was something different, outside of the norm for me. I'm always doing rock and metal stuff, and so doing an old school country western compilation was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing this one, and I'm glad that everybody loved the cover, including Slim Whitman's family, who approved everything. So, and I wanted to have a little bit of an old school look too, so therefore it's Studiophonic Sound on the top. I thought that was just fun. With the little fake looking speaker waves, or sound waves. Yeah, that was a fun one to work on. I'm glad I was able to do that one. But it's available on CD too. It's a double CD or a double record. So, 20 Precious Memories, the very best Slim Whitman. All right, these next three are all from Girder Music, and they're all the same band. I haven't opened any of these yet. I just got them in the mail. Petra. This is Beyond Belief. As you can see, it's got a custom hype sticker. Now, I say Girder, and it says Girder Records proudly presents Petra Beyond Belief. But we actually worked directly with Curb Word, and as you can see, there's the Curb Records logo on the bottom down there. There is no Girder markings on here other than a sticker. But Girder is the one who created that, because I did the artwork for them, and then we basically did everything. We sent off to Curb Word. They added in these little lines on the bottom, their little legal lines, and they put in their own UPC code, and that was pretty much it. Everything else, I did. So I worked with both Girder and Curb Word on that one, and it was a lot of fun. A little frustrating, only in that working with two different labels, things get slowed down a little bit. Not a complaint, just takes a little longer, that's all. And Curb Word's a huge label, so Curb Word and Petra, Curb Word and Girder run at different speeds, man. Curb Word's got thousands of releases coming out, whereas Girder's got hundreds of releases coming out, but they work much at a faster pace than Curb does. So anyhow, here's the insert. This actually is a picture sleeve, which was requested by them. As you can see, it's kind of on this orangish, which matches the cover. That was the point. And then the picture sleeve, and I will remove this from the picture sleeve and put it in a poly sleeve, and then because these sleeves, they just bust real actually, this one already has a slight tear in it right there. They just break too easy. So to preserve the sleeve, I will put it in a regular poly sleeve. Yeah, and that was one of their biggest albums. This thing sold, gangbusters, and it crossed over. And obviously, Petra is a Christian band, but it crossed over into mainstream radio. Several of these songs became huge hits for them. And if you buy their album that came out last year called 50, which is celebrating 50 years, there's a bunch of songs from this album on there. But I think Creed, Beyond Belief, I Am the Rock, Armed and Dangerous, and Love were all hits on this album. That's more than half the album right there. So almost the greatest hits album on its own. And then they followed that up with Unseen Power. Again, Girder Music proudly presents Petra Unseen Power on 180 gram blue vinyl. Again, this was, a team effort with Curbword and Girder. But thankfully, they allowed me to do all the graphics, and these came out great. The big problem is nobody had the original on any of these. Nobody had original copies. Not even, because this one had never been out on vinyl. This one had never been on vinyl, and this one was only on Beyond Belief had only been released on in Brazil and maybe Europe, and copies are scarce and ridiculously expensive. Nobody had one, so I had to recreate all these covers, and I spent a long time, probably more than I should have, but I wanted them to look superb. I wanted them to look just like they had just come out, and they really do. There's no pixelation, there's no mores. This is how an album should come out. I'm always shocked when a big label releases an album, re-releases an album, and it's got a moire pattern through the whole thing, or it's bitmapped and nasty looking. It shouldn't look like that. If you have an original copy, you can descreen it and make these things look good. You just have to take some time and do it correctly. Anyhow, there's the front, there's the back. Again, all the type is fresh put on there. Once again, we have the sleeve, and once again, the 180 gram record pops the sleeve, which is why I prefer inserts to sleeves. Which is why on my label you only see inserts, not sleeves. I'd rather have it in a poly sleeve and then have an extra insert. But in any case, this is how Curbword wanted to do it. Nothing wrong with that. Band photos. I was able to find some images online that were very similar to the ones that they used. This being one of them that it's very much modified, but I actually paid for this image and this photograph of these three windmills in the grass in the sky. But as you can see, it almost looks like it's from the same photo session. So it was really cool to be able to find that and be able to actually find it in a place where I was actually able to pay to use it. But this is on a blue vinyl, which obviously matches the cover. The label chose the translucent blue. We just told them we wanted a dark blue, and they chose the translucent stuff. It's fine with me. I don't care. But I tend to prefer the non-translucent colors most times because those clear ones are kind of harder to see scratches and stuff on. And then finally, this is Petra Wake Up Call. Never been on vinyl before. Once again, Girder Records proudly presents Petra Wake Up Call on yellow vinyl. And you're like, yellow? It's the blue cover. And I actually saw some people complaining on the Petra board that why did you pick yellow vinyl when it's the blue cover? Because this one is blue vinyl. We didn't want two released at the same time on blue vinyl. And as you can see, there is, first of all, the yellow sticker. There's yellow type right there. And the yellow type runs throughout the whole thing, the back cover. And obviously, again, I redid all the text in the back. And actually, I can kind of show you, I kind of wanted these to have a similar vibe that matches, and you can see how the songs laid out, very similar, and that was intentional. I kind of wanted to have, they were all released at the same time, so I wanted them to have that kind of similar vibe, and they came out really nice. Again, doing the jeans trick. I saw a guy the other day who said he was a vinyl fanatic, and he had a knife, and he was like, and I was like, oh, jeez. Just do the jeans trick, man. Just rub it a little bit on your jeans, and it pops that vinyl, and it pops that plastic, and this one was tough. This was the toughest of the three. Again, they had no artwork, and I had to work from, I had to basically scan a CD and descreen it and blow it up and redo all this text. All this text is fresh. The Wake Up Call, the Petra logo, everything is new. But this one was tough because it's such a dark cover, especially in there to hold the detail while descreening, but it came out pretty well. I think the other two came out a little better. This one maybe it printed a little darker than I hoped it would, but it doesn't look all that far off from most of the CDs that I've seen, so I really can't complain. But honestly, I'm looking for better. When I do these things, I want it to look better than the original. And I have had that happen several times. So back cover. And then here's your lyrics insert. You can see the Petra logo kind of ghosted in the background there. And then picture of the band on the other side. And again, all these records were huge hits for the band. There's your yellow vinyl. And you can see again, the yellow runs throughout the whole thing. You can see the yellow type, the yellow lines. Thus, the yellow vinyl that matches. Custom center labels. And again, if you picked up that 50 vinyl from last year, the best of, there's a bunch of tracks from Wake Up Call. There's a bunch of tracks from Unseen Power. Let's see here. Dance was a big hit on this one. Destiny was a big. I think Ready, Willing, and Able was another big hit on this one, if I'm not mistaken. But produced by John and Dino Elefante from Kansas fame. This one was produced by Brown Bannister, who was known for his work with Amy Grant. So that's it. So that's my graphics update. You know, 30 minutes in, but that was a lot of records, and I talked a lot. So appreciate anybody who stuck around to the very end. So that's it. Appreciate y'all watching. You know, like the video, sub the channel, and God bless. And stay strong.